Hi everyone. Um, Firstly, I just want to say thank you to each and everyone for the continued support of reading my blogs, sending little messages, just being present in this journey as well. Um, I do want to apologize for being fairly quiet, missing a few Sundays of um, posting blogs and things. Like some of you might know, my mom does have dementia, and that has been probably the deciding moment in which that led me to all of this. So in the past 2 weeks, our family has really had to get together, run a few errands to change my mom's care and take on more responsibility, which is why I was quiet. Um, I do, however, want to take this opportunity to share a few things about myself. Firstly, I am a overthinker, which is why it's probably not a good idea for me to be making these videos, and better for me to write because I can read, edit, save you from all the babbling on. But I do feel that what I have to share in this moment is better said on the video. So I apologize if it might be a bit long or not, but bear with me. The other thing is I have a bit of a old soul, and also I struggle with letting people in and opening myself up to people. I always have this rule for myself that I only share something once I have already processed and dealt with it, because then I feel that even if someone knows, you don't have the power to hurt me with it. So that's just a bit of myself that might help you to understand a little bit better about my blog as well as about the purpose of this video. As I was preparing to make this video right now, as well as to start writing, um, I was listening to Aretha Franklin, hence the old soul, and she has a song where she says, "You better think." Um, and I felt that that was so perfect for what I wanted to say in this video. It's just about a collection of thoughts and conversations I had over the past 2 weeks. There was a day, for example, I sat with one of my nieces. Hopefully she won't hate me for mentioning her, but luckily there's quite a few of them, so they still have the ability to hide their identity. And we spoke about, how the family's getting together, how these relationships being mended that was broken, how these relationships that got an opportunity now for a fresh start. And she said to me, "You know what? I think you and my mom started on the wrong foot, and your whole relationship was based on misunderstanding, which is why now you guys are in a better place because you are able to open to one another because you have more in common." Um, and that's a thought, that really resonated with me, which leads me to a few others. So before I explain any of these thoughts, I just wanted to, express where they are coming from. Another thought that was a conversation with my husband. I came home the other night to talk to him about a proposition I got to write a story, and he was like, "Go for it." And I was like to him, "You know what? I have all these notifications on Instagram and Facebook, and social media is just so difficult." I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to keep track? Because bear in mind, two of the things I mentioned, I have an old soul, plus I have a problem with letting people in. So social media is not really my number one thing. And he said to me, "You know what, babe? You have a goal, you are on a journey, and this is what you need to do." I was like, again, wow. Another thought that stuck with me. And then um, I recently had a conversation with someone who didn't feel that they could speak to me, because when they did speak to me, I didn't agree with what they were saying. And I am a very vocal person. I say what's on my mind. I don't hold back. Like, I'm not afraid to express myself. And I expressed my disagreement with this person, and it was internalized as, because I do not agree with you, I do not understand what you are saying. And that's what led them to thinking that I am unapproachable, which is a bit of a knock for me and also resonated with me. It's still a bit hanging with me. It's something I'm processing. Um, Forgive the fidgeting. It is just me trying to, stay present in the conversation. So all these thoughts, resonated with me over the past 2 weeks and past few days. And me being an overthinker, I also then thought about this journey that I'm on. And I just really, firstly, wanted to apologize to my readers and those who do follow and support me, that I have been not present. But hopefully, you would understand in the stories to come, but also that you would understand that this is still a journey for me that I am working through. Secondly, I do apologize for my voice. I'm not sure what's happening. And then also, I wanted to really take this opportunity to say, sometimes this is probably just gonna sound like I want everybody to be an overthinker, but sometimes we just need to stop and think. And that it was also what I was struggling with social media. Everything is so fast paced these days. I was watching a series in which someone got some, bad comments on the Instagram, and the friend said to me, you know what, tomorrow it'll be over. It's literally 24-hour news these days, or even 60-minute news these days. And that was like, wow, how do we keep up? How do we prevent these moments in which we build relationships on misunderstanding? How we prevent us from making up our minds about someone based on an interaction that didn't go in your favor? How do you express yourself on a weekly basis and get people engaged in your story when you use 60 seconds these days? And I just wanted people to really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, at the beginning of my journey, I did say that I went through therapy. I really was able to understand that I have a problem with being vulnerable, but I didn't know how to redefine it. I didn't know how to work through my emotions and the pain of continuously losing my mom and longing for her. I really didn't know how I was going to cope, or even if it was possible at this point. It's still a challenge for me. It still brings tears to my eyes. I still have moments where I'm holding myself, literally feeling that emotional pain in physical form. But I really wanted to take this opportunity that I can work through this with other people, and also we can help one another on this journey. And that is how I also got back into writing my book for my mom, and also the book about my experience. And I was like, I have no desire to be, famous author or anything like that, or even make money from this. But I was like, if I am going to go on this journey and I'm going to write this, at the end of this journey, I'm going to be able to embrace much more, and I'm going to be able to be a better version of who I am right now, and be closer to who I'm supposed to be. And on this journey, I want to help others. So I just wanted to make my message really clear, in that sense that I am doing this to put myself out there, firstly, but also to, get passengers along on this journey with me. and so that the story is truly shared with people. And that is why I took to social media firstly, to build the audience, you to help gain passengers on my bus, I suppose, until the bus reaches its destination of the book being published. So I truly hope that this message does what it's intended to do, and that if each and everybody will continue to follow me on this journey, I suppose. And also, for those that know or have watched my videos and things, I am a social worker, and recently I was sitting in my office and I needed to paint something, and one of the kids that I work with came in and they were like, "Ma'am, why did you never become an artist?" And I shared with that child in that moment because I see a lot of myself in her, and I said to her, for so long I was in survival mode and only had the capacity or even the strength to do what I needed to do, to move from day to day, and that blinded me to my talents and my skills. And now that I am in a better place somewhat with some parts of my life and have more emotional availability for myself and more time for myself, um, mentally, I was able to, start tapping into my creative side. And this journey is also about that, expressing myself, exploring other parts of me. And I hope that this message brings that across. And I also want to take the opportunity to open myself up to people out there, to say that feel free to ask me questions, feel free to read my stories, feel free to comment. As I said, it's not easy for me to respond immediately. I do try, but I am open and hoping that each one can share in this journey as well. Thank you.